Hey there, welcome to my channel. I'm Dave. I have a question for you. If you could turn your hobby into your career, would it still be a hobby? Meaning, would you still enjoy it as a hobby? Or would it just be 9 to 5, working like any other job? In this video, I'll be sharing my experience of becoming monetized on YouTube. How long it takes, the process involved, and the all-important question, how much I earned in my first month of being monetized on YouTube. Let's get started. As you can probably tell, my hobby is stamp collecting. No, obviously it's cars. Building cars, driving cars, and occasionally breaking cars. But that's just part of the journey. So wouldn't it be nice if there was a way that you could make a bit of extra cash to help fund that hobby and repair the cars or whatever that you've broken and help to fund your hobby? So YouTube is actually ideal for this because you can carry on doing what you're already doing and loving, but maybe make some extra cash on the side. It's perfect. So it doesn't really matter what your hobby is. As I say, mine is cars. Yours could be model aeroplanes, crochet, knitting, makeup, whatever it is. You have to be passionate about your hobby for it really to pay off in the long run, I would say. So let's get into the process of becoming monetized on YouTube. For me, I've been filming my adventures for about 15 years, but YouTube wasn't really a thing until relatively recently. Maybe within the last 10 years it's really kicked off and been an actual possible avenue for income. It was never my intention in the beginning. I was just recording what I enjoyed doing and other people enjoying what they're doing, just as a sort of a historic record of what we'd been up to in our younger years. But these days, why not take advantage of a platform that is specifically designed to share your enjoyment with other people? So how long does it take? How long is a piece of string? Actually, a piece of string is twice as long as it is from the center to the end, just so you know. It really depends on how much time, effort, and resources you can put into it. If you're working full-time, it's going to be hard to get to a position that you could actually make anything from YouTube. I was in the unfortunate position earlier this year when the pandemic hit that my job was no longer available. So I figured, right, well, I might as well do something with my time. I've got a car here that I need to build, so I may as well film it, partly for YouTube and partly for my own personal record, so that I can go back and rectify all the mistakes I made earlier. But it's worked out quite well, because in the last 7 months I gained a lot more subscribers and a lot more followers and help from people than I did in the 10 years prior, when YouTube was just somewhere that I uploaded the odd video. So on July the 1st, 2020, this year, Canada Day, I got to 1,000 subscribers. At the moment, in 2020, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days, and that's a rolling total. So if you had 1,000 views a year ago, tomorrow that 1,000 views or 1,000 watch hours would no longer apply. It has to be a rolling 365 days. So 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers, and you'll be eligible to apply to the YouTube Preferred Partner Program. Can't remember the exact term. So let's talk quickly about the process. I'm not going to go completely into detail. There's a million videos out there on how to do that. So there's a few things you need to take into account before you'll be approved. You need to obviously you have to meet the requirements, 4,000 and the 1,000 thing, but you also have to have content that doesn't have any like malicious content, no swearing if you can avoid it. Swearing won't necessarily stop you from being monetized, but it will affect the type of adverts that will appear on your video. So be very cautious of that. It might even be worth removing some previous videos so that there's no issue when it comes to your approval, or at least your application process. Also, don't have any copyrighted material, no copyrighted music. Don't be using clips from other people's videos. You want to be squeaky clean for this approval. Once you get approved, then you still have to be careful, but you don't have to be quite so careful. You can always rectify videos that you've made in the past. So let's say you've passed those hurdles and they've approved you. The next step would be to set up an Adsense account. Unless you've already got a previous platform that you're making money from, you won't have an Adsense account, and you won't be eligible for one until you've got the approval from YouTube. So then you've got that process. Now, I get different reports of how long it takes. You know, some people are saying it takes a month to 2 months to get approved on the YouTube partner program. Personally, it took me 24 hours, which I thought was quite impressive. And then the Adsense approval, that also could take a few weeks. That took me 12 hours. So from start to finish, from getting 1,000 subscribers and my 4,000 hours, it took me 36 hours to get approved to actually start being able to make money from adverts. So let's talk about adverts. Right, first of all, hands up if you love adverts. Exactly, no one likes adverts. However, what if I told you that every 2 or 3 second advert that you watch will be contributing towards this project, or whatever project you happen to be working on? But that money that I earn will go directly into this car. So you're actually going to be part of building this car with me just by watching a couple of seconds of an advert. Don't get me wrong, I hate adverts, but it's kind of different when you're seeing results from watching a simple advert. If you think about TV adverts are like up to 30 seconds long, and you usually just walk away and make a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, toast, whatever. But you don't hang about for adverts. YouTube adverts are very short, and as a YouTube creator, I get to choose where the adverts go, what type of adverts. Personally, I don't like the banner adverts that appear down here. I find them really intrusive. I also opted not to have non-skippable adverts, so you've got choice, because you don't want to upset your viewers. The whole point of it is you want to engage with the people that are watching, and personally I couldn't do this without my subscribers, because they contribute a lot to me, not necessarily in money, but they contribute a lot of essential advice, because I'm relatively new to this game and I couldn't do it without them. So it kind of works both ways. The more you watch, the more I earn, the more goes back into the car, and the cycle continues. So maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm too old for YouTube. Look, I'm 52 going on 16, okay? It doesn't really matter what age you are. All you need is a passion for something, and you know, try to be yourself, don't be fake, and you should do just fine. Obviously it's easier if you're young, you've got more energy, generally you've got more time, and you're more tech savvy, okay? But there's nothing to stop us learning. I would actually say that the older you are, the better your audience is going to be, because you're attracting older, wiser people with more knowledge and generally more patience to sit through your nonsense, which is why I love you guys so much. I actually encourage my subscribers to leave a comment and let me know where in the world they are. And I'm kind of a stalker that way, because I will, quite a lot of the time, I will look up the area that that person has said and do the little Google Street View drive about, well, virtually drive about, and get a feel for how they are living and what their life is like. I know that sounds a bit creepy, but I just feel I need to know where my guys are coming from. Guys and girls, although very small percentage of girls are into this, but whatever your audience is, you really want to connect with them and see how everyone else lives. And it's important to remember that everyone's different, okay? Some people are working from like a 6-car garage. Some people are working from a driveway. Some people might not even have a driveway, okay? And I started without a driveway at all in Scotland. In case you hadn't guessed, I'm from Scotland. And then we had a house with a driveway, but it was just stony driveway. It's kind of hard to roll an engine hoist over a stony driveway. Now we're in Canada and I've got a nice big driveway and a nice garage. So it's not what you've got, it's what you do with what you've got is important. And you've got to respect that with all of your viewers, okay? Another really important aspect of this whole thing, you had better be prepared to take criticism, okay? Advice is always good. Being criticized, even if you think you've done something 100% right, you got to listen to your audience, because there's more of them out there than there is in here. And generally speaking, people have got good advice to give. So make sure you listen to it. Don't immediately shrug it off and go, oh, block. But if you're of that sort of nature where you instantly take the cream puff, and you'll just be demotivated and you'll get nothing done. So if you don't like what someone says, don't ignore it, consider it, move on, okay? Above all, I would say the most important thing you're going to need to succeed is patience and determination. It's very easy to give up these days, so just keep on plugging away, you'll get there eventually. Right, let's go on to the fun stuff. How much did I earn in my first month of being monetized? And spoiler alert, it wasn't a lot, okay? We'll find out shortly. And after that, I will tell you what I plan to spend my millions on. My millions of pennies. Let's head down to Scott Rod's HQ, otherwise known as my basement. So this is my office. It's the basement. Behind me you can see my map of world domination. And one of the things I do on Scott Rod's is if you leave a comment with a note of where you are in the world, you will get a lovely pin in the map of your location. And then I can start the stalking thing I talked about earlier. Right, let's bring up the screen with the analytics, which tells us who, where, when, how, everything about your channel, okay? So let's launch into our web browser. So this is my channel dashboard. And then you click down here to channel analytics, revenue, change it to July. My estimated revenue for July, $183.69. Now that number is actually pretty good. I was looking up numbers before I got monetized to see what people were earning, and it was anywhere between $75 and $150 on average. So 183 shows that I have the best subscribers who actually pay attention to my videos and don't mind the odd advert, so thank you for that. So far in August, which is now, currently made $87.84. But let's go back to July. This graph here shows me exactly when I get monetized, which was the 2nd of, probably the end of the 2nd of July, because I earned nothing on the 2nd of July. And then the money started rolling in. My first ever pay was on Friday the 3rd of July, and I was awarded $1.91. And then the next day, 505, 475, 971. I'm not going to go through them all, don't worry. But it's kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. And these are all the just daily figures. So as you can see, I am not going to be a millionaire anytime soon. And these numbers all depend on how many people are on your channel, how many people view your videos, and how long they hang about for adverts. So obviously the more subscribers you have, the more chance you've got of people actually watching your adverts. RPM is revenue per mille, which is per thousand, okay? And that's roughly how much I make per 1,000 views. This playback based CPM is actually how much the advertiser pays. So that number is very important because you only get less than half of that number after YouTube take their cut. But 1641 is reasonably good, actually. Again, I did some research and it can go anywhere from $2 to $30 on average. So I'm kind of in the middle-ish, slightly above average, which is pretty good. There's all sorts of other analytics to view, which you don't need to know about just now. If you're really interested in all this analytics stuff, I can make another video. Leave a comment at the bottom and I'll maybe look into that. But as I say, 183.69 for my first month. I'm very happy with that. So let's talk about what I'm actually going to buy with all my money. Now I could be super sensible and upgrade to a better camera. I'm currently using an iPhone 7 with no extra mic, no extra lighting, just straight out the box iPhone 7. And you know what? It's actually a pretty good camera on a phone. It does front, rear view, videoing, and I already had it, so I didn't have to buy a new camera. So I could invest in new camera equipment, but I'd rather buy car parts. Wouldn't you? Come on. If I start earning double the amount I'm earning, then I might think about upgrading my camera, but for now it's going to be car parts and tools. The most important thing. And likewise, whatever your hobby is, you'll probably want to invest more into your hobby parts than your actual camera equipment at the early stage. Right, let's head back up to the garage and round this little video off, shall we? So let's get back to my original question. Can you turn your hobby into a career? Yes. Will it make enough money to survive instead of a real job? Possibly. Eventually. But not immediately. I have still a long way to go. I actually forecast on my current trajectory possibly 3 years before this could actually replace a full-time job. Maybe a year would be a kind of part-time job level of income. But it really boils down to how much time and effort I put into this whole project and sustaining a level of enthusiasm throughout the entire process. Crucial. Right, before I go, I want to give a big shout out to some of my main contributors so far. Number one has got to be Ted Mansell, Daewoo Auto Car Parts. He's been a huge help, both in advice and he sends me parts. Luckily he's not a million miles away, he's maybe 50 miles away, I'm not sure. He's not far, he's in Canada, relatively local, and he has sent me care boxes on a monthly basis that help me with this project. So huge thank you to Ted. Also Jeff sent me some grinding pads a while back. Glenn, also in Canada, sent me some really nice welding gloves. And these guys wanted nothing in return, just nice guys, want to help, want to see this thing on the road. And I appreciate it more than you can imagine, honestly. Right, let's get back to work. If you liked this video, please let me know. Leave a comment, hit the like button, and of course my habitual dislike guy, hit that dislike button. I know you're just itching to, you've probably done that already. If only you left your name, you'd be famous by now, but hey, haters gonna hate, eh? Right guys, thanks for watching, and I will get back to work and have some actual hot rod content on the next video. Take care everyone, see ya, bye bye.